All right, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, we're going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers and Trey Lance. What happened to him? How does this dude go from the third pick in the NFL draft to being a third string quarterback and evidently not looking like he's going to be with the 49ers this season? Whether it's presumably a trade, I'd assume that he gets traded. There's no way he gets cut, right? He's owed $10 million or $9 million this season, then $10 million the next. It has just been a wild ride for 49ers fans because you thought that this guy would be the future, and now he is just looking like he's out the door. Looking at the title right here, we got 49ers QB Sam Darnold was named the team's number 2 QB per me and Tom Pelissero. He'll be back up to Brock Purdy to begin this season. This further puts the future of former number 3 overall pick Trey Lance in some doubt. I mean, Sam Darnold, a dude who was deemed a bust, a dude who had an opportunity in Carolina and did not seize it after already failing in New York. So how does he beat out Trey Lance? Whole lot of question marks around the situation, although if you haven't seen any preseason games or seen any Trey Lance at all, even last season before he got hurt, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume why, and just to kind of pick up the pieces or put them together. Trey Lance, 23 years old, drafted very oddly at number 3 at the time. I mean, granted, there was some hype, but he only had, one season under his belt. Not even a lot of playing time, really, in college. Not a lot of playing time in high school. Very raw athlete. And you just look at the guy, very fast, very athletic, but everyone always knew that he would be a project. You know, you look at what Fred Warner says. Honestly, I don't know much about the situation. I'm trying to ask around what's going on. No clear answer right now. Obviously, love Trey. Don't know what's going on with him or what's going to be next. As a former player and a current fan, I don't want to see Trey Lance get traded. At least not now. Trey is only going to get better with more reps. Maybe a team not contending can deal with that. But the 49ers feel they have seen enough. If he's traded, I feel like it would be too soon, presumably, is what he's trying to say. No. Oh yeah, it would be too soon considering the amount of draft picks that were used. But I like the fact that having 3 QBs, if possible, throughout the season after what happened in the NFC game. Don't let Trey Lance become the guy you drafted for another team to develop him and win big with him. But I see both sides. Why hold when the team's future looks to be with Purdy? So Brock Purdy, you know, if he didn't have the ascendance that he did, this would be a whole different scenario. But Brock Purdy did have the ascendance that he did look legit last year, making all the right plays. And if you haven't watched Trey Lance, let me break down what his problem is out on the field. One, his accuracy is still not there yet. He doesn't know how to exactly, in baseball we call it command when trying to get a pitch to a spot and you just missed. So you don't really have a feel for the ball, and you don't have command for the strike zone. Well, in football, he just doesn't have that command. He doesn't necessarily always put the ball in the right spot. Also, the ball, sometimes, you typically see a tight spiral when thrown by a QB. Trey Lance's balls are very wobbly, not the most tight. So when it comes out of the arm, it's just like, what the heck? Like, it's very odd. Also, he looks super hesitant out on the field, even in the preseason. Did not look very comfortable. Did not look like he was seeing the plays that were drawn up, and very hesitant to throw the ball even in a little bit of tight windows. In the pocket, sometimes held the ball for too long. Also, just didn't look comfortable. Definitely not something you want to see in your 3rd overall pick. Even last season, never really slinged the ball. Didn't have that natural confidence that Brock Purdy did, who just looked like he was supposed to be out there, like it came naturally. Trey Lance, it was always funny looking. It was always, like I said from the beginning, very raw. Everyone knew he was a project. A lot of lack of playing time. Not a surprise that he needed time to get it together. But through all training camp, supposedly he just hasn't looked the part. And you have a guy like Kyle Shanahan, who is an offensive genius. And if he's with them every day, I mean, I'm going to have to trust his judgment that this guy just doesn't have it. If you can't win a backup QB job against a guy like Sam Darnold, not saying Sam Darnold is complete garbage, but who's shown that he just hasn't had it. You know, he hasn't worked out in the league, and he's seemingly going to be a backup for the remainder of his career. I can't foresee him being a starter unless someone gets hurt, right? Which is essentially the point of a backup. So it's funny seeing, I wouldn't say funny, it's just weird seeing what's happening. Is it too early to call Trey Lance trade one of the worst of all time? I mean, given how much the Niners gave up to move up to the third spot, it was rough. Tweet right here, a fairly quick practice today, which was probably good because a whole bunch of players were missing, most notably, of course, QB Trey Lance was not at practice. The Niners are exploring all options, including a trade with him. No matter where he goes, I think it's obvious Trey Lance just needs time. It's unfortunate for him, but like I said, he doesn't look the part. Now, I'm not sure entirely what the hell Trey Lance is like on the market. Like, what are teams willing to offer? That seems interesting, but I mean, who knows? Top comment on Reddit here. Throw the roll to third string. That's rough. Not just third string behind Mr. Irrelevant and guy everyone still sees as a bust. The bust being Sam Darnold. Damn. So Lance definitely has no futures with the 49ers now, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is looking like it's it. Man, if Trey can't get the second sting job in a camp, very bad sign for his future. Yeah, he must have had a really bad camp. Because even if he was a little bit worse than Sam Darnold, you'd think that they'd roll the dice with him given how much they spent on him. And it's not like they weren't the people that drafted him, right? Like, that's Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's guy. Like, they drafted him. This isn't, you know, a new front office and a new coaching staff. This is the people that drafted him. So they wanted him to work out. They had reason to want him to work out. But if he is not where he's supposed to be, then yeah. Clearly they're pulling the plug because they don't think that there's a way to make it work. But there you have it. Trey Lance. A brief explanation on what's wrong with him on the field. Explaining a little bit of the thoughts and aftermath of where to go from here, and the couple takes from reactions from people. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. I think it's pretty crazy that this has happened. But we'll see what happens from this point on. Anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. This is Always Been Different. Always Been Different. And we out.